The Sports Scouting Report with Lee Burkeen, brought to you by Harvey Autos in Shreveport, Bossier City, the name you've trusted for years. Geico, the insurance savings you expect. Supreme Chevrolet, expect more from Supreme Automotive Group and Gonzalez. Total Car Care, tire shop and automotive repair in Baton Rouge. Bollinger Shipyards, 75 years of delivering high-quality vessels. Here's your host, Lee Burkeen.
Hi everyone, Lee Burkeen. I'm at Jennings High School today with the Sports Scouting Report podcast, TV show. Coach will tell us what room we're in, but it's a great place. We've got the background at Jennings where they do their signing days of all their athletes. You're going to meet some very good football players today. We're also going to have some girls interviewed here at the school that play all the sports. And I'm sure a lot of the kids that we're going to interview, some of the boys play multiple sports here too at Jennings, which is pretty common at a 2 or 3A school, 4A school, to play 2 or 3 different sports. We're going to interview the head coach at Jennings High School for football when we come back, and we're going to talk about some of the history of Jennings. And if we've got some time at the end, we'll get Ricky Edwards on here, the voice of Jennings High School football, talk about some history of Jennings going back to Rusty Phelps. Before that, we're talking about some of the teams that they play over the years, some of the rival games, and much more. We'll be right back.
Listen, whatever you're driving right now, Tommy Harvey wants it. Bring it in to Harvey Subaru, Lexus of Shreveport, Bossier City, or John Harvey Toyota. They're paying big bucks for all trades right now. They'll cut you a check right there. Tell them Lee sent you.
Hi everyone, welcome back. Lee Burkeen with the Sports Scouting Report podcast. Be sure to subscribe for free when you see it on the screen. We'll have that where you can share it with people. I love going to all the towns in Louisiana, all over the state. I really love the connection that people have, and like at Jennings, it's a close-knit community. Without waiting any longer, let me go ahead and introduce the head football coach, Bret Fuselier. Hey, Coach.
How you doing, Lee?
Good morning.
Good morning.
People don't know if we're doing this morning or
That's
night.
right, huh? We can fool them if we want to, but good morning.
That's right.
It is morning.
It is morning. I loved how you came in here and the kids started coming in. And you said, "Where's my breakfast?"
That's right, man. That's right. You see, I'm going to flip the script on them because most of the time they want breakfast from me, so I need breakfast from
I knew there was
them.
an inner deal there with the
right.
kids, yeah. What's it like coaching at Jennings now?
Oh, man, it's a great place to be. The community, I knew coming to this place what the community was like, growing up right down the road.
Yeah.
Seeing Jennings, I saw them growing up win a state championship over here. I know what the school is like, community involvement. Jennings is all about football. The community, football is first over here. So just being part of that environment, it's a little bit bigger school than I was at before. And, of course, traditionally, the kind of athletes that come through this school, they just graduated 2 guys that are generational talents, that are going to both be in the NFL one day. So, yeah. So everybody knows about those guys, but the thing, the glue that makes everything stick around here is everybody else, that does their job. And like I said, they do have talent over here, always have.
Bret, you're from a small town, Elton, home of Al Woods.
That's right.
You're still in the league.
Still in the league.
13 years later.
Matter of fact, this morning he's having surgery on his Achilles. He tore his Achilles last week, so he's in Wisconsin having surgery right now. But yeah, they've had their share. They've produced guys that have signed with LSU, Mississippi State, of course. Al Woods went to LSU. They had a running back before him go to LSU. So small towns around here, they've had some talent come through them, and so it's good to see that in this area.
I got to share this before we get back to Jennings, because you're from Elton. Al Wood's dad called me when he was in high school as a senior, and I had a chance to meet him in a game. Dad's like 6'5", tall guy. And he says, "Man, are you going to come to his signing party?" I said, "Yeah, I'll come." And so he calls me. He says, "It's going to be 8 o'clock at night in Elton at a church in Elton." And I wasn't very familiar at night where I was going, and it was no lights or anything. I got lost 2 or 3 times. Mm-hmm. So Notre Dame dad helped me find the location, rode with him. He was a zonebreaker and had a meat packing company in Elton. We go over there and there's about 500 people at the church, like 10 cakes. This is for the San Antonio Bowl game that he was in.
That's right.
And he had his jersey up, and that was the greatest thing ever.
Yep.
The school, how many people in the school over there?
Maybe 150.
Isn't that crazy?
Maybe 150. Yep. And I was the head coach back then whenever he signed, so I'll tell you a good story about that. It kind of broke my heart. He committed to LSU at the state track meet. He went there. He was throwing a shot in the discus that day. Well, Les Miles flew in because he was on a recruiting trip. We went up to his office. Now, mind you, I had Monday I was scheduled I had Ken Norton Jr. coming from USC.
Oh, yeah.
And me and him were scheduled to go eat crawfish. Well, he committed on that Friday. I never saw Ken Norton Jr.
The crawfish.
So, that's right.
Well, you didn't get crawfish. He didn't get crawfish.
Yeah.
I talked to Ken Norton on the phone when they were recruiting Joe McKnight, the late Joe McKnight from John Curtis. And I remember getting a call from Ken, and he's like, Lieber Keene? I'm like, yeah. So I got your number from Johnny Booty, Josh Booty's dad. And I'm like, who is this? Ken Norton? I'm like, oh, okay. USC, Pete Carroll? He's like, where's Joe McKnight going? So I don't know. He's going to USC, right?
Yeah.
We're going to take a break. When we come back, we're going to have more with Coach Fuselier. We'll talk about Jennings, talk about how his team did this year. I know they're in the playoffs, not so much talk about who they're playing. Actually, look at it as if maybe going to another round, because by the time you see the show, the game will be played already. We just don't know who won by the time you see this. But we'll be right back.
Supreme Chevrolet. Expect more from Supreme Automotive Group and Gonzalez.
Welcome back. We're back at Jennings High School. Lieber Keene, your host, Sports Scout podcast here in Jennings, Louisiana. Great place to be today. Coach Fuselier joins me. And Coach, we're going to have a few of your players come up and talk to me. And some are seniors, some are going to be juniors. What do you think of the group this year at Jennings?
They're a good group, fun group. I can tell you that. Things are quite lively around here every day. But it's a group that had to buy into what I was bringing over here, and a couple other coaches that came, and it took a little while. And if you look at us at the start of the season and to where we are now, it's almost like we're a totally different team here. But I like the way we're playing right now. As the season progressed, we've gotten better and better every week. So these kids they're fun to coach. I can say that they're fun to coach.
You got some good football around here. Kinder, not far away. Welsh, Iowa. Go down the road, it's just continuous. So Lake Arthur's not far. I mean, every program around here. We're talking Ricky Edwards. We're talking about Kaplan not being too far. The rival with Kaplan. I gave it away. That's the first round. I'll just go ahead and mention it. But what do you think of the district? I mean, being Kinder and what you were playing, and then now here at Jennings.
Yeah, I mean, this district traditionally has always been one of the tougher districts in 3A. You look at Iowa last year was a semifinal team. They beat Leesville, Xavier Ford, who knocked us out in the second round last year. The next round, Iowa goes over there and beats Leesville in Leesville and make it to the semifinals. Eventually losing to Norton DeSoto. Yeah. But you have St. Louis, who's always good. Lake Charles College Prep, who traditionally, they spit out players to all these colleges, and so it's a tough district week in and week out. And even the ones who may not have a lot of wins in district, if you don't take care of your, dot all your I's, cross all your T's that week, any one of those teams can beat you on any week.
Coach, a question that a lot of people want to ask coaches. Every coach has a background. It might be defensive, offensive. Some guys are like linebacker guys because they play linebacker. Where do you see yourself as a coach? Are you an offensive guy, defensive guy, or a certain position that you like to coach for your team?
I've always been a defensive guy from the time I got in. I was a defensive coordinator my second year coaching, and kind of went from there. Always was more defensive guy. I've called offense before, but I've always been more of a defensive guy.
Are you like the D-line crazy guy?
Man, I've coached every position actually. I've coached D-line, linebackers, and defensive back. So
I'll say that because O-line, D-line, people agree with me. That's when those are the guys that get after.
Yeah,
you gotta be.
And that's what I played. So I am more comfortable coaching that.
How do you feel with the linemen? We'll start there this year.
Linemen, it was a good group. Coming in, we had a lot of question marks there. Actually, the guys who are starting now, there's probably 3 starters that we didn't expect to start there on the defensive line that are there now. Made big strides there. So, it's a group that overall very pleased with their progress.
You got some seniors like Duhan. You got young guys like Zeno. You got some young quarterback JJ. What do you think of the skill guys?
Man, our skill guys, we're young. On the most part, we have a young skill group, especially looking offensively. We got a lot of guys that are going to be back next year. But you know, they've stepped up when we needed them to. You know, the older guys have kind of shown the way, and it's mainly defensively. That's where a lot of the older skill guys are. You know, but they've shown the way here.
The good old high school bell.
That's right. Huh? Time to go to class.
Coach, anything you'd like to say to the community of Jennings, people that watch, or outside of Jennings?
I mean, hey, if you haven't been to Jerry Simmons Stadium to catch a ball game, you're missing out. It's a great atmosphere, great place to be, and the product on the field is great as well. So,
Coach, good luck for the rest of the way.
thank you, Lee. Appreciate it.
Coach Fuselier, Jennings High School head coach. We'll be back with one of the women's coaches here at Jennings High School. We'll talk about some other sports. Then we'll get back to some recruits maybe and some good high school kids that give a chance to talk from Jennings High School. We'll be right back.
Total Car Care, tire shop and automotive repair in Baton Rouge.
Welcome back. We're at Jennings High School. Hope you're enjoying the show. Got a chance to meet two of the coaches here, the head football coach, the head softball coach, head volleyball coach. And now we're going to get to the recruits and football players. And one of the toughest guys on campus. You know that word, one of the dudes, you know, come out and hit you. Darian Edwards. He's a senior linebacker, 2-year starter, 3-year letterman. Darian is, coach talked him up over the summer in July. Your coach could not stop talking and raving about you. Coach Fuselier, I was like, who's your top tackler? Edwards. And let me tell you about Edwards and this and that and this and that. And I'm like, that's really high regards, Darian.
Well, with me, I'm always in competition with my other linebacker, Walt Robertson. You know, we push each other real hard at practice.
And Coach talked about Walt too.
Yeah, we push each other real hard at practice. I'm not gonna say it's more of a competition thing on the field, but in the locker room, when we look at the stat sheets, it's more of a competition thing. And now we got an added person to the chart too, Hump Ned.
Oh yeah.
He got me on tackle right now. Yeah.
Y'all call him what? Hump?
Hump. Yeah.
There you go. Darian, what is it so fulfilling for you to play linebacker? You're one of those, what I call safety / outside / everything. Like you're kind of in between.
Yeah, a lot of people say that, but I feel like, I feel like linebacker, not really always. I started linebacker my junior high year, 8th grade year.
Okay.
I started that, and then I carried it out through my high school years. I fell in love with it.
What's it like going to Jennings High School as a student athlete?
It is fun. It is real fun. I got all my friends over here. I've been here my whole life, and to me, it's more of a at-home kind of feeling.
You already know what you want to do when you're done. You told me you want to go in the Air Force.
Yes, sir.
And you already know what you want to study in the Air Force. Tell everybody what.
I want to study fueling in the Air Force, and I love football, don't get me wrong, I really do, but
Yeah.
I don't think this is something I would want to do for the rest of my life.
What if the Air Force football coach comes up to you and says, Darren, you can still do all this, but will you come out for the football team?
I think about it. I probably think about it. I think about it.
The Air Force always needs guys like you, man. Now, I don't know how that works because you might be at an Air Force base in Germany and the team's in Colorado Springs. So, hey, you never know.
They gotta knows where.
You told me you had 133 tackles.
135 tackles last year. Yeah.
And then this year you're almost at 100. Not bad, man. What's a game that you cherish every year, a team that you like to play every year the most? You have one?
Yeah, a team that I really like to play every year is Iowa.
Okay.
Iowa is a good team, a fun team to play.
You know a lot of those guys?
Yeah, I know quite a few of
It's
them.
with Interstate 20 minutes from here.
Um,
You've had some good games against them?
Yeah, I have. Last year during the game, they had us in the red zone, and I had a fumble. I made a fumble play at the 1-yard line
There you
to give us
go.
the ball back. That's one of my best moments come from that.
How many playoff games have you played in over your career? A few, huh?
Well, no, not really, not a few. I've only, just last year, I started real playoff games. So I say around, coming up now, 3 playoff games.
That's a lot of experience. About to be your 4th.
Yeah.
Anything you want to say to any shout out to anybody from where you are today?
Yeah, Coach Mack. I want to give him a big shout out. You know, my sophomore year going into my junior year, he really built me up. You know what I mean? Like I was small, not even knowing if I was going to start linebacker. He took me and Walt into our own little, workout away from everybody, and like I was weighing around like 155. He put me around 170, and as the season went on, I got up to around 180.
Good encouragement to get where you need to be.
Yeah.
Well, good luck to you. I know the playoffs This will probably air after the first round. I hope y'all win it. And good luck to you with your future in the Air Force. And I know everybody's excited. I know your mom and dad have to be excited about that.
Yeah.
And good luck to you, man.
Thank you.
Good luck to you. Darren Edwards, don't get up yet. We'll be right back. We'll be right back with more recruits and football players and also volleyball. We've got some volleyball players and softball players interview as well. We'll be right back.
Listen, whatever you're driving right now, Tommy Harvey wants it. Bring it in to Harvey Subaru, Lexus of Shreveport, Bossier City, or John Harvey Toyota. They're paying big bucks for all trades right now. They'll cut you a check right there. Tell them Lee sent you.
Welcome back. We're at Jennings High School. I'm Lee Burkeen, your host, Sports Scouting Report podcast. You've heard the coaches. You've heard a couple of the players here. We've still got about 3 more to interview. And our next player is a senior. He's a tall defensive back, played receiver in college, 6'3", 6'4", Zay Douglas. Zay, good to meet you. You're another player that over the summer coach said, watch this guy. He came out from basketball 3 years ago. And now, what do you think of football?
I love it, man. Just like the energy around the sport, you know, the love that we get from the community and my teammates, my brothers, you know, we all come together, you know, always come up Friday night, do whatever we can do, put on the show.
Now, I got to ask you this, because you know when basketball players come out, they're a little lean the first year, right? They're like 160, maybe 155, and you're 6'4", 6'3". Glad you're honest to the college guys, but how much weight have you put on since you started playing football?
Since I started, you know, I think I put on like a good 20 coming out starting to my sophomore year. I think I was around like 130, something like that.
Okay.
Right now, 155. So, you know,
Carry good though, man. I mean, so you look like you can gain another 20 pounds easy.
yeah, I hope so. That's what I pray for, man.
I'm gonna brag about you. Coach said you can run really well. You're tall. There's not a lot of 6'3" corners in the state.
Yeah.
And I think coach has told you that a million times probably. If we can get you to college with full scholarship, right, that's the hope. You said Southeastern, little correspondence, been approved for enrollment there. And talk about the other school. What do you think of ULM in Monroe? Have you been to campus? Have you been to Southeastern in Hammond?
No, I haven't visited before, but I feel like it's a great school. I know one of my friends go there. He told me like the aroma and like everything around, like the energy is just like good to be around. Very fun.
Well, let me ask you this. I want to admit I saw Jennings last year, and I plan on watching the game coming up, playoff game. But if you're up in man coverage and you're guarding me in high school and I'm like 5'10", I'm not feeling very good.
Oh man.
I mean, you play man, you come up and get in people's face. You play man.
Yeah, yes, all the time. Every
I
game.
mean, as long as you are, as tall as you are, you're that shut down corner, man.
Yes, sir.
So who can run with you in the district? Is there a receiver that gives you fits?
I mean, they're all quality opponents. You know, I can't just say anybody isn't. I can't say like I can't be messed with. You know, but you know, most of the time, you know, if it's just me and you one-on-one, I'm gonna win. That's how I really play. That's my mentality.
Not confident, just confident.
Yeah.
This confident.
Yes, sir.
What college, if it was up to you, would you like to go for football?
Football.
If you could pick, or a couple.
I'd say probably, if we talk about big schools, I'd say Florida State, but you know, I'm really underrated, you know, they ain't looking at me.
Well, it's not over.
I did that, you know.
And who would be another?
I'd say Tulane in New Orleans.
Did the Cotton Bowl win get your attention as a kid?
Yeah, but
Because prior to that, people weren't talking about Tulane that much.
yeah, but I really like always liked this school, you know. I feel like it's a good school, and like in New Orleans, you know, New Orleans is the first place, you know. So
Say you got a major in mind in college?
kinesiology to be affiliated.
You're the second kid here to say
Yeah.
kinesiology. That's a good field to get in. And any final thoughts before we go that you want to acknowledge anybody for where you are in your life?
Acknowledge anybody. I really like to thank my coach, you know, Coach Harbour. You know, he always coached me up. You know, he tries his best to, you know, help me every day off the field and on the field. My other coach, my basketball coach, Coach Larson. he always motivates me, to do my best, push me every day, even in the classroom. I also like to shout out to a couple of my teammates, Chris and Gerald. That's my youngest. I always push them. I'm more like, I don't want to just always be a teammate, I'm more like a motivator, a mentor. I help them out always.
Well, that speaks volumes for you to say, because I usually ask kids to do it, but for you to say, I want to acknowledge a couple of my teammates. That's good, man. It's really good. Very mature kid, man. Good to meet you. Zay Douglas, man. He's a corner, receiver, 6'3", 165, you say 155, but by the time you graduate, 160. Can be 200 pounds in college, 6'3", playing cornerback, probably for somebody D1 in the end. We'll be right back.
Supreme Chevrolet. Expect more from Supreme Automotive Group and Gonzalez.
Welcome back. Lee King, your host of Sports Scouting Report podcast here at Jennings High School. Glad to be here. We've got some more interviews to do, and our next kid that we're going to interview has been a starter here for a long time, Jude Duhan. Jude, thanks for joining us. You did a little O-line this year, I heard.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
What's it like playing O-line, and you played mostly on D-line your junior year, right?
It's nice because you always know what's going on. You know where the ball's going, and you really don't have to guess or anything. It's nice. You know
for the whole game, basically. What is your height, weight? Tell everybody height, weight.
About 185 and 6'2".
Okay. Weren't you a tight end at some point too early on?
Yes, sir. Early. Yes,
So
sir.
you played every line spot at the school.
Yes, sir. Just about.
What do you think of Coach Fuselier playing for him?
Oh, I like him. He's all about fundamentals and practice habits.
Okay. You already decided what you're going to do when you graduate.
Yes, sir.
You said you got a technical school.
Yes,
Tell everybody
sir.
where you're
Suella.
Suella?
And I'm going for HVAC.
Okay. Tell everybody about that. What is that exactly?
It's AC.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Big business right now.
Yes, sir.
What is it like to go to Jennings High School and be a student?
It's a lot going on.
All right. Grew up here your whole life,
Yes,
Jennings?
sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. Did your dad play sports?
Yes, sir. He played football and baseball.
At Jennings?
Yes, sir.
So you're second generation?
Yes, sir.
What about grandparents? Did they play
No,
here?
sir,
No? Okay. Any final goals for this year? Maybe win that playoff game?
Yes, sir. I want to make a run in the playoffs and just, yeah.
Has it set in that might be it? Like career?
Sir?
Has it set in that you're closing in on the end of
Yes, sir.
football? What's it feel like knowing it might be over in the next few weeks?
It's sad, but, it's exciting. It's played my last year.
I always ask this, who do you enjoy playing the most? What other team locally? Or
There's a few.
There's a few.
Iota. And Iowa. Iowa
Okay.
veterans.
a lot of people you know at this school?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
A lot of bragging rights? if you will.
Oh, yes, sir.
Well, Jude, appreciate you coming out. Being a senior, we want to interview you and appreciate you and good luck to you.
Yes, sir.
We'll be back with some more interviews at Jennings High School. We'll be right back.
Total Car Care, tire shop and automotive repair in Baton Rouge.
Welcome back, Lee King. We're bringing Jude Duhan back out because I want to mention something that's a big deal. Javelin thrower, he's one of the best in the state. And Jude, we didn't mention it. I thought you would throw it out there, but again, you walked off. I want to bring you back. And tell everybody about how far you threw the javelin and your accomplishments in javelin.
I threw it in state, 162 through.
Not bad.
Yes, sir.
And talk about your dad.
He's a sports trainer here. He takes care of everybody.
See, that's why I was mentioning who played, and I was leading up to that. But talk about how can you throw the javelin that far? That's hard. Most of them I hear like 120, 130 maybe, but 162. You said.
Yes, sir.
What do you think you can hit when you're done?
I'm shooting for 180, 190s.
Okay. Is there any competition? The same guys coming back, beating them?
Yes,
against
sir.
you?
Yes, sir. A guy from Iota and a guy from Bunkie.
Iota, not far
Yes,
away,
sir. Yes, sir.
for the whole state.
Yes, sir.
Going to LSU, what is it like? Does that get you adrenaline up being in track?
Oh, yeah.
What do you
Every
think?
meet is the same. drumming, all that.
What's the best throw you've ever had, even in practice? Is there one that was farther than that?
163.
Wow. For 185, that's pretty good.
Yes, sir.
We had to mention that. That's a big deal. We didn't want to not mention that. Again, good luck to Ju Duhan, one of the best javelin throwers in the state. Very modest kid, and I'm glad we can mention that. We'll be right back.
Listen, whatever you're driving right now, Tommy Harvey wants it. Bring it in to Harvey Subaru, Lexus of Shreveport, Bossier City, or John Harvey Toyota. They're paying big bucks for all trades right now. They'll cut you a check right there. Tell them Lee sent you.
Welcome back. We're at Jennings High School. We interviewed a linebacker earlier, and he's going to go in the Air Force. This linebacker wants to play college ball, Walter Robinson, who's a senior. Same kind of size, 5'10", 5'11", 175, I guess. You're heavy?
200 flat.
You 200 now?
Yes, sir.
Wow. You were in the summer, though. You were a little bit lighter, right?
Yes, sir.
But what do you like most about linebacker?
What I like about it is that I get to set an example for my defensive guys because I'm the leader for the team, so I really like it.
Y'all basically lead the team in tackles, right? Mention your buddy, that the other linebacker that we interviewed,
Yeah,
Darren
Yeah.
Edwards. Y'all got about 200 tackles combined almost this year. What colleges do you like?
College I like.
Because I know you want to play. I can feel it, and you want to play football still.
I would say LSU.
Now I want to mention this, and a lot of kids that are watching the show, or kids in the room listening. This NIL thing, I'm not a big fan of like the way it's set up. I'm not against people getting paid. I just want to have some rules, set the dates differently. But you know, walk-ons are getting paid to go to college if you're on the team. I know 12 walk-ons at LSU that are making over $3,000 a month in NIL money. So the point I'm trying to tell you, and any kid watching or in this room, if you walk on now and you make it a year, the coach will actually find, or a business will come out and say, we will give you NIL money. What's that? How's that sound?
Sounds really good.
So what I'm saying is, don't give up the dream as a walk-on, because now there's the financial support. So if you get an offer from LSU to walk on, you're set up, right? And it's pretty good when someone's actually helping you with about $30,000 a year, when they're not paying, you know, housing and food, and then all that's paid for also. And you're 200 pounds now, so now you look like a linebacker. And is there another school? I mean, I know LSU's like the school with a lot of people, but is there like a second school in state?
Second school, I'll say Southeastern.
In Hammond?
Yes.
Have you been in a game?
No, sir.
Just watched them? Or
Yeah,
know
I
someone
just
else?
watched them, and also I've been talking with them too. So,
Tell me your strength. Some guys it's hitting, some guys it's tackling, some guys it's like intimidation, talking. Are you a talker, or are you just the one that just
a big hitter,
big hitter?
real big hitter.
Open field. Where's the bad spot? Everybody? Everywhere?
Everywhere.
You got all favorite hits.
Yes.
Is there a game that sticks out, Walter, that you remember the most in your career at Jennings?
Jennings.
Like that was your on time, like domination that night. Was there one that sticks out?
I'll say last week against St. Louis.
Had a
I had
roll.
18 tackles.
18.
Yes, sir. I was on fire.
Wow. I gotta have Ricky Edwards is here. I'm like, that Coach Fuselier, 18 tackles. Is that a school record in a game?
I don't know, Coach. I've been asking Coach. He ain't never tell me. But
They might not even have that in a record book, though. They don't even know, probably. That's a lot. Good luck to you, Walter. And I hope LSU sees this and gives you a walk-on opportunity, possibly. Then you get up to, what, about 215 in a year?
Yes, sir.
That's what they weigh now, 220, 215 outside linebackers. And the Mike linebackers weigh 230, 240. We'll be back in a moment with more, and I think we're going to have a softball player to interview next. We'll be right back.
Supreme Chevrolet. Expect more from Supreme Automotive Group and Gonzalez.
And welcome back. We're at Jennings High School. I'm your host, Lee Burkeen, with the Sports Scouting Report podcast. I want to mention this. I didn't mention it earlier, but we promoted, a lot of Jennings kids don't even know this, but we promoted Jennings High School, previewed the team on our website. It's on there now, lafootballmagazine.com. I have Louisiana Football Magazine that was started in '97, and we'll be doing another preview magazine. A lot of the kids at Jennings that are coming back will be our 28th year this coming August. We'll do another issue previewing Jennings High School. So we've got 2 more interviews, but the next interview is Rajon Zeno. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Running back.
Yes, sir.
Now, what else do you play at Jennings? Just running back?
Yes, sir.
Well, you get off pretty easy, huh? Because a lot of guys here play a couple spots usually.
Yes, sir.
What's it like being a running back at Jennings? And the reason I say it like that is that Etienne's, the history, the McZeals, and all the great running backs that have come out of here. There's a bunch of running backs. You want to be in that group when you're done?
Yes, sir.
What do you need to do, Zeno, to be like?
Really just to continue to work hard, because like they already really paved the way for everybody, so they can do it. Anybody can do it.
I ran into McZeel yesterday at Westlake as an assistant coach, and I'm like, "You look familiar." And he's like, "I'm Ronald McZeel." I'm like, "Jennings. He looks like he can play today. He's my age." What is the history like to keep up with Jennings with the winning? I mean, Coach Fuselier comes in. I know Rusty retired. He was here for a long time, but there's a lot of pride here, right?
Yes, sir. They're really traditional, because like this has always been a good school like to come to and play for.
It's not just one running back here too, which I like. Even when the Etiennes were here, they always had another running back to share the ball. You want to talk about the other running backs?
Well, yes, definitely. He's coming up. He's a freshman. He's a great running back. He's just nervous sometimes.
Mention his name.
Trayvon Gallery.
What do you think about his future with?
It's
Because you're only a junior,
Yes, sir.
so you're going to be a tandem for
Yes, sir.
quite a bit. What is your strength and what is his strength right now?
I feel like just making plays. He can do the same. He just gets scared and nervous sometimes when he gets it.
Freshman,
Yes, sir.
like when you were, right?
Yes, sir.
Now you're pretty calm.
Yes, sir. Definitely.
It's like yesterday doing 1,000 times. What is your strength? Some guys are power. Some running backs are vision. I'm talking about your game.
Oh, me, speed. Like speed and vision, like nobody gets me.
So you get 5 yards, it's over with.
Definitely.
So to get you, it's got to be at the line.
Definitely.
So how do you rank your burst on a high scale 1 to 10? Because I know that's the key to a running back. You have to hold
You're like an 8.
an 8. It's pretty good for a junior. Tell everybody your height and weight.
5'7.5", and like 190, 185.
Well, you're very close to the younger Trevor. Is not a tall guy.
Yes, sir.
In Florida. Y'all actually have a defensive tackle at Florida too right now from Jennings.
Keenan Landry.
Yeah, he's a pretty good player. So 2 guys at Florida. Jacksonville, the older Etienne. And he went to Clemson, and I asked you who you liked, and you said you liked Clemson too,
Yes,
right?
sir. Clemson and Tennessee.
Now, has that got anything to do with Etienne being there, or is it
I just like the school.
they're not having a good year this year for some reason? Isn't it crazy? They're 5-4,
Yes, sir.
but they just beat Notre Dame. You're a Trevor Lawrence fan?
A little bit.
A little bit.
Sometimes.
Favorite player from Clemson?
Travis.
I figured you gotta say Travis. And who's the other school that you like already?
Tennessee.
What do you like about them?
Just like the school.
They have a running back, Sampson from Dutchtown, who's going to play in the NFL. LSU didn't offer him, and he's about 5'9", 200, runs 4.4.
Yes, sir.
He'll be in the NFL. Great kid too. Anything you want to say before we're done? I mean, you got 2 years left basically. Only a junior. You're in the playoffs. What's your expectations for the rest of this year?
To keep going, like get better every week. What we're doing.
It's good stuff. Good goal. Good to meet you, man. Good luck to you.
Thank you.
Rajon Zeno, running back, junior, Jennings High School. Great tradition here. Running back you at Jennings. We'll be back with one more football player. We'll be right back.
Total Car Care, tire shop and automotive repair in Baton Rouge.
Welcome back, Jennings High School. One more interview. Humphrey Ned, who's a DB. I remember Coach talking about him over the summer as a running back. Now he's a defensive back. A sophomore, very talented player. You met Zeno, very talented running back. You've met a bunch of talented kids here. Softball players, basketball players. Now you're a sophomore. Good to meet you, man.
Nice to meet you.
Now tell everybody your nickname.
Oh, Hump. That's my nickname.
You want me to call you Hump or Humphrey?
It don't matter. Whichever
Okay.
one, like,
Well, Hump, what's this right here?
well, it's my chain.
Man, that's a good chain, man.
Thank you.
What is your goal? I just asked Zeno.
Well, my goal is to play college football. Maybe go to the NFL.
Only as a sophomore, and you're already. That's good. What do you think the transition was like for you? You were running back at first, but you said you settled in, moving to DB, strong safety. And you like it, right?
I like it.
What's the difference to you? What?
I can play how I want, play fast. You know, I like tackling. I like to hit.
Okay. You don't have a lot of DBs in college ball right now that like to hit, which is good. LSU could use you right now. They need some guys that can tackle. Tell everybody your size right now as a sophomore.
Well, I'm 190, 5'9".
5'9". Who's the best player to ever come out of Jennings High School in your opinion? A lot of tradition here. Is there one? When you go through the halls and all the pictures are up?
When I leave, to me, it's gonna be me.
Hey, that's a good answer, man. But who do you see and look at a picture and go, that's the guy? Is there one? I know there's Travis and Trevor and McZill, and there's been Lonzo Manuel that went to LSU. There's a lot of players that have left here.
I don't think I got one.
Okay. When you were an 8th grader, did you see yourself playing football?
Yes, sir.
How good were you as an 8th grader?
I was good. Pretty good.
You remind me of Deion, man, in a way. You know Deion Sanders?
Yes. Yeah, so many people told me that.
You remind me of that, man. What about Colorado, speaking of that? Do you follow them?
Yes, sir.
What do you think of Colorado and what all that stuff? I mean, they're not having a good year right now, but they started out good.
Yeah, they're going to have a good program.
Who's your favorite colleges?
Big schools, LSU, Florida, whatever it's like a junior college, I say Grambling.
Well, they're not junior college now.
Oh, yeah, they moved up, yeah.
1AA now. Doug Williams grew up not far from where I was raised. He won a Super Bowl with the Redskins. Played at Grambling for the late Eddie Robinson. So tell me, what do you need to work on? You're only a sophomore. I like how you're confident, though.
Speed, really need to get bigger and stronger.
Well, you look like you're on your way to being about 5'11", 210, 215 when you're done. Easy. Maybe 6 foot. Did your dad play sports?
Yes, sir.
Where did he play?
Over at running back.
Was he pretty good?
Yes, sir. He was just too small.
So who's better right now, you or him?
Me.
Your dad's going to see this now.
Yes, sir.
Your mom, did she play athletics?
Yes, sir.
What did she?
Basketball, track.
So you grew up around an athletic
Yes, sir.
parents. Teammates, anybody you want to mention today? You know, we've interviewed a lot of kids. But
Easy. On defense, the ones who really push me, Walt, my 2 linebackers,
Okay.
Walter and Pop. But really, it's David and Edwards. We might fuss and fight every day, but he pushed me to do it. And on offense, I got to give it to Rajon.
Okay.
He
Zeno.
gonna lead me in the right way.
Well, good luck to you, man. And I love your confidence.
Yes, sir.
It's not cocky, you're just confident. And you love football, I can tell. Like that chain, too, man. What is that?
Spider.
Spotter, okay. Man, that thing's like 3 pounds, 2 pounds, or what? Good to meet you, man. Good to meet you. Look, we had a great time at Jennings. I'm glad to meet all the kids. Appreciate Coach Fuselier, all the coaches. Great high school. Be sure to keep up with them. They're in the playoffs. And glad I came all the way from Baton Rouge to do a few interviews. And we'll see you soon.
Thanks for watching the Sports Scouting Report with Lieber King.